Exactly.
I want to turn, Robbie, to foreign policy. We just had on about an hour ago, sitting on this very set, one of the leaders of the Syrian opposition. She's in town for the UNGA, all but crying out for American leadership as she painted about as bleak a picture of what's happening inside that country as you can imagine, particularly in the city of Aleppo. Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State when this crisis began. What's her biggest regret about the way Syria has been handled?
Well, obviously she's been out of office for some time now.
But she was there when it started. Yeah.
Well, right, but you know, I think she is well regarded for her leadership as Secretary of State. She came out of that office with a 70% approval rating. She, in contrast to Donald Trump, has released a clear and decisive plan to defeat ISIS. Donald Trump has said that he thinks he knows more about it than the generals and refuses to tell us what his secret plan is.
I understand, Robbie. What about in Syria, though? She supported the drawing of the red line. Obviously, she was out of her office when Assad used chemical weapons. Was it a mistake to draw the red line if the president was not willing to go to do something about it when it was crossed?
Well, as you pointed out, the decision regarding that was made after she was out of office, so I think you'd have to ask
Was she
President
disappointed
Obama,
that the president didn't act when the line was crossed?
I think you'd have to ask her about that question, how she would characterize
her feelings. Well, you're here to speak for her, Robbie, so you haven't discussed that at all?
Look, what matters is what she is going to do as president. And as I said, she has a clear plan to defeat ISIS. Donald Trump does not. It's a secret. He won't tell anybody what it is, and he says he knows more than the generals. So I think the choice for voters is clear.
So day one in office then, Robbie, what does she do in regard to Syria?
Well, first of all, she has said that she will work with our allies to dismantle their safe harbor in Syria and Iraq. She will harden our defenses here at home, and she will dismantle their network around the world. And a lot of that's going to happen in cyberspace and through digital communications. So you can go on our website and read the full plan there.
So, Robbie, we do realize that you are not Secretary of State, but in the debate next Monday evening, how would Secretary Clinton respond to somewhat of a version of the following question? We've had a relief convoy bombed, potentially a war crime, leading into Aleppo. What would you do, Secretary Clinton, about providing food, water, and medicine to the citizens of eastern Aleppo today, right now, differently than what the Obama administration is doing? What would she do differently?
Again, I think you're going to have to ask her that question. That's a matter of policy. I'm going to leave it her to determine that.
We love you, buddy, but what are you here for? If you can't answer basic questions that, I mean, I don't know if there's a, I mean, we may be tiptoeing into Gary Johnson territory here. If you don't know the answer to that basic of a question, what is the response to Aleppo, then why do we have you here?
I think, look, you're asking new policy questions. You would have to ask the Secretary for that. My job's not to set policy.
Syria's been around for some time. The red line being drawn has been around for some time. I'm not being difficult here at all. These are basic questions.
And I'm not being difficult either. I'm simply saying that she has laid out a plan to defeat ISIS. And if there are new questions pertaining to Aleppo, I'm going to need to let her answer those. And she will answer those in the debate. And we look forward to her having the opportunity to do that. And as I said,